Alright, I'm going to give this a try. Whether it works or not, don't know. I've been concentrating really well tonight, and therefore shooting really well tonight. I've been watching a really good One Pocket of pay-per-view for like the last 4 nights. But I'm also drinking an Alaskan Smoked Porter, and I am probably about halfway through it. So we'll just see. And I'm going to try to talk to you while I shoot. And that may just fuck it up. But I want to try it. And just like I said, I enjoy watching this type of video when it's done well. I've been breaking lately. Let's call it like 5 o'clock. So bottom right. Now, the cue ball has been pretty consistently getting close to the rail, but only about here. So for the last couple of games tonight, I'm hitting about 4 o'clock. And yeah, the cue ball is coming up a little bit higher, but on average, I think this corner ball, this 15 in this case, is selling out a little bit more, or coming closer to selling out. So right now, I'm just going to try to split the difference and try to hit about 430. Not really entirely sure where I'm aiming. I guess I'm aiming like normal, more or less at the 11. But Obi's in charge of how much curve and swerve and squirt and all that's going to happen. For the most part, I've been hitting the cue ball, hitting the brakes fairly well. As long as I remember to stroke it. And I am stroking it. And I'm getting a lot of spin on it. That's, I bet, the first time I've scratched tonight. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. There we go. That's what I get for talking to the camera, right? So now this guy deserves to lose this game and may end up losing this game. Take a look what I have. Obviously I have the 15. This 10-9 would be a makeable shot, except the 7's got the 9 hook, so that's not a makeable shot. And I'm talking about later. Right now, I'm shooting the 15, or I'm going to do something else, like a safety. The 3 and 11 will both go. You know, the 6 is in kind of a messy place, but if I got on it, I could make it. Nothing else really goes. I'm not a big fan of where that 3 is, but I don't think I want to go ahead and move the 3 now and risk not getting this 15. So, all right, so now I'm going to shoot the 15. What do I want to do? What do I want to try to do for shape to get off this 15? I can shoot the 15, come straight into the foot rail, and back up into the 13, ideally the 13, and then maybe have the 6 next. If I come and hit the 5 and come over here, now I don't really have a shot. An alternative that I see right off the bat is try to play off the 15 and hit the cue ball about here and then back up for one of these 2 balls. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. I don't think it's too steep of an angle. I just have to stroke it. Now, I'm obviously running a chance of hitting the cue ball off this rail, off the 11, and either scratching or leaving my cue ball down here. Then maybe I would have a shot at the 6, but odds are I'm screwed. If I don't draw the cue ball all the way over to in this area, then I'm pretty much screwed. It would be much better to draw the cue ball here and up and come out here for no offensive shot than it would be to scratch. So what I've got to do is make sure I put a good stroke on it. I've got to kind of look at the angle and everything while I'm standing up, because I can see it better and not when I'm down here. And I'm not I'm not trying to draw the cue ball under the 11th. I'm trying to find the right English that would do that, and then I'm going to put that English in that and that stroke on it, and then hopefully I will just happen to get the cue ball to go where I want it to go. This is the attitude I'm trying to have. I've been doing pretty good at it tonight. Okay, you know, let's call it 5:30 and stroke it. Maybe 5 o'clock and stroke it. And then I can go back to 100% focus on making that 15. Just happen to have that English on it because I decided earlier, and that's going to happen. Just happen to get the cue ball to go where I want it to go. That's after all this yammering, I probably missed a 15 by 1.5 feet. I'm shooting this one ghost ball. I've been doing a lot of ghost ball lately. And I just had to remember to stroke this ball, because ghost ball needs a stroke. All right, so what did I do wrong there? I didn't draw. I thought I would, and the draw that I put on that ball was probably gone by the time I hit the 15. There wasn't as much draw as I had been hoping. So, as I had said, I'm probably going to have a shot at the 6. I've also got potential safeties, leave the cue ball over in this area. But if I do that, I'm not protecting anything. There's nothing there to protect. So right now my thinking is I shoot the 6. All right, so good. I shoot the 6, and I can do this to find the tangent line. I think I'm going to come very close to nipping this 10. That's actually probably a good thing, because that will probably keep me from going off the 6, into this rail, and into the pocket, which always sucks when I do that. If I nick the 10, the cue ball's still going to kind of take that route, but the 10 might come out and give me a shot. This is what I'm going to do. This particular shot right here, these back cuts, this is one that the ghost ball has really been helping me with this kind of shot. And I think I said it in a video I made last night, for these kind of back cuts, I'm doing ghost ball unless something better comes along, and I'm not expecting anything better to come along because I've tried an awful lot of things. Now, again, this is my standard disclaimer for this video, after rambling and rambling and rambling, I'm going to miss the ball by 8 feet. But my best chance of making it is with ghost ball, and I feel confident I can make the 6. I've made enough of these back cuts here the last couple of weeks that I feel confident I can make it. Doesn't mean get lazy. I'm putting 10 o'clock English on the ghost ball. Find the ghost ball, put 10 o'clock English on it. All right, so I missed the 10. I really thought I would hit that 10, but I didn't play to hit the 10. Remember what I said? I thought I would just happen to hit the 10, and it just so happened that I did not hit the 10. And now I'm done with offensive stuff, okay? If I leave the cue ball up here, my opponent's doubled up on the 111, but he's got the 3. The 3's a pain in the ass. I don't see any dead balls. So here I look at just kicking the 3 and moving it. If I kick the 3, put it over here, and then I'm tripled up, my opponent still has really nothing. Maybe this 5-13. If I kick it to 3 and hit it full in the face, and the cue ball comes over here, I don't think he's going to shoot that 5-13. I don't like it, that's for sure. I'm definitely thinking about it. As an alternative, I could just skim the 13 and send the cue ball down here. I'm still leaving the 3. The 3 is still a mess at that point. But I don't think I'm leaving any shot. Whereas if I kick it to 3, I think I am potentially leaving that bank combo. Plus, skimming the 13 is easier. So we're just going to do that. I just want to make sure I don't get the cue ball here and back up and leave a cut on the 3. I want to leave the cue ball down on this reel. Or at that kind of an angle. All right, so this guy's got 2. That's his shot. He owes 1. If I left a kick, that would just be unbelievably annoying. Okay, this 513 is almost dead, but I believe the 3 is in the way. If I kick it to 10, hit the top side of the 10, the cue ball is going to go up in this direction. I think it's going to push balls. There's a slight chance of that 13 to go in. Another thing that, not really ghost ball, but concentration has been helping me, is my kicks have been good. Standard disclaimer applies. But even without going through and measuring it and all that, I've been pretty decent at seeing the angles on the kicks. So what I want to do is I want to hit maybe about a half ball of the 10 on the north side. That's what I want to do. And so we're just going to try it. I'm not going to slam it, but I want to hit hard enough to get the cue ball to go up here. Yeah, 5 came off close. Awful damn close. Now I'm going to look at this 9-10. Did I deaden it up? Probably. 9-10 is definitely the shot I'm going to shoot. It's aimed about to that point. There is about a little bit less than a 1/4 inch gap. It's definitely freaking shootable. Is it shootable? Is there a reward? And if there's not an offensive reward, is there at least a way to get me to be able to remove that freaking 5? You know, I don't like the 5 there. The more I think about this shot, I don't like shooting that 9-10 right now. Because I don't like the 5, I don't like the 3. I can't hit the 5, but I can hit the 3, basically split the 5 in the rail. Cue ball stays down there by that chalk about, and the 3 ball comes up towards the 11 or maybe a little bit past the 11. So I just have to make sure that I cut this amount. I'm not trying to follow the 5 in, but I am trying to give him the 5. All right, this guy owed that ball. And so there's that. I'm this guy again. I really want to protect this 3. You know, the 13 and 2 have a lot of other shit blocked. The 7 does go. I'm not talking about I'm going to shoot from now. I'm talking, what do I kind of want to protect? I think for right now, I want to protect this 3. Because let's say I left my opponent right here. He could just vacate the 3, leave the cue ball back in the rail, and then I don't have 3 anymore. I want to try to protect that. What I think I want to do is just go off the 10 thinly and send the cue ball up towards that corner. Not in, hopefully, but towards that corner. I'm going to be sure to cut this 10 a little bit, not hit it too full that it drifts out. If the 10 ball drifts out, then my opponent might have a shot at it. So I'm kind of trying to cut the 10 basically directly towards the 9, not really moving out of one of those balls very much, and get the cue ball up in that corner. Didn't you put any English on the shot? No, I did not. All right, so I think I did what I was supposed to do there. yeah, I definitely protected the 3. If there was anything dead in this mess, and I don't think there was, it's not dead anymore. I'm this guy, you're right. And I'm like, well, okay, now I'm screwed. But, you know, I'm not any more screwed than I was. I believe. Well, I want to get the cue ball dead back down there on the foot rail. I can do that probably by hitting the 1 really, really, really thinly. Problem with hitting the 1 that thin is A, the 1's not going to go anywhere useful, and B, I don't have to be very far off on my speed at all to bounce up too far and leave a shot at the 3. So another option is to go off the 7. Then off the 7. And the nice thing about that is I can put just a touch of right English on it and maybe even get the cue ball behind the 3. I'm not seeing any other paths to the foot rail, so I'm going to shoot at the 7. I don't want to shoot on a dead carom, but there's not one. There's not a dead carom, but I do have to watch a little bit that I don't, you know, screw it up. So I'm going to hit the 7 a little bit thinner than I think, but with a little bit more right English than I originally thought. Still trying to watch my speed, because I might bounce up off the rail and not hit the 3. But I'm putting about, crap, not much, about 130 on this, no, about 1230 you mean on this cue ball. Right, I hit that shot just about as well as a person could think. I also had to move out to 5, so the 5 will go towards that pocket. You know, the 7-10 is a possibility, but I put the cue ball in this mess here, which was a good thing for me to do. If I, say, skimmed the 3 or just flat out took a foul and put the cue ball back up here where it was, this time I've left a couple shots. A couple potential shots. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to leave the cue ball up there. What I want to do, I think, is put the cue ball over here. I'm prolonging the hell out of the game. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. If I come up to here, I'm leaving a potential bank at the 14. So I don't want to come up past about 2 3/4, and I don't want to leave a bank after 3. So I got anywhere from 1 1/4 to 2 3/4. Put the cue ball in this mess somewhere. Let my opponent deal with it. Okay, how do I get the cue ball there? Can I get there by skimming the 3? Or do I have to just kick and take a foul? I think I can skim the 3. I'm not shooting this shot very hard at all. And at this point, I don't really care if the 3's sitting right there. I would prefer that it was. But it's blocking both these balls. So it's not my favorite ball on earth anyway. So I'm just going to try to put the cue ball over there, basically going about this diamond, see if I can go about this diamond, just to calibrate myself for future shots. Very, very, very close to the rail. Putting a lot of English on the shot. Chalk up. Don't do that slow motion miscue. I'm on the rail. Still be sure I stroke it. And I got to just dig down just a little bit. Be sure I dig down just a little bit. And don't let the Q-tip ride up over the ball. Inch past my target, but still pretty good. And I wasn't really planning to leave the cue off the pros of the rail, but I did. And so that was nice of me to do that. We ended up doing this kind of shot for a while. Now I want to get the cue ball back in my opponent's pocket in the area. But maybe do it off the 4. It's too big of a chance. If I go off the 4, then I could hit the 3, leave some kind of a bank at something. The 13 does bank. don't like coming out. I don't like anything except skimming a ball and going back down here. Boring, right? But this is what you got to do sometimes. I'm just going to skim the 10, leave the cue ball close to that foot rail. Not trying to come up and get behind the 3 or anything this time, because the 13 banks, and actually I bet the 3 banks. Yeah, the 3 and the 13 both bank. So there's no way I'm trying to get too cute and get in here. I want to get down here. I overhit that ball. I did not get the cue ball where I wanted. I overhit it or hit too much of the ball that I skimmed off of. Maybe a little bit of both. Alright, so now here I sit. I don't have a bank of 13. The 3 is blocking me. I got lucky is what just happened. I leave the cue ball, I get the cue ball up here. My opponent still has his 5. Desperation shot, but it's a shot. Now I don't want to leave any shot. If I can help it, I don't want to leave any shot. I also like to protect a bunch of this shit. I'm just not sure how or if I can protect. I'm going to have to sacrifice one of these balls, I believe. If I want to get the cue ball, I can't get the cue ball up here. I want to get the cue ball probably in this area. Leave my opponent staring at a bunch of shit. There's going to be a bunch of balls moving. You know what's going to happen. I can shoot the 4 straight on. It comes to about here. Follow the cue ball up to here. My opponent's not going to cut at this spot. He'll have a shot at it, but he's not going to cut at it. Just make sure that I don't have a shot. Yeah. If my opponent had a bunch of shit tied up, or if there was a bunch of balls on the table, I probably could make this 13. It's not the right shot for right now. So I'm not going to shoot it right now. What I'm going to do is what I said. I'm going to try to get the cue ball up in that corner. And I do that by following the 8. And then the 8 goes here, here, and back down in this direction. Maybe disrupting something in the stack. Maybe opening something up for my opponent. Or I shoot the 4, and the 4 ball goes here, here, and back over in here. I don't think I would shoot it hard enough where it's going to 3 rail to my opponent or anything. Using my shoulder on this shot to get a little bit of extra mass into the cue ball. Just like that. Another guy, you're right. That's it. I'm not shooting this damn 5. I can see the 3 clearly. It is no longer protected by anything. I can hit it. The problem is, I'm almost straight in to make it for my opponent. And there's times where I want to do that, where I want to make it. I was just looking to see if the 7 off the 10, see what it'll look like. I was never really going to shoot it. I just kind of wanted to see. A really good player cross this 10 over towards this side with left English, come back up and hit probably the 13 and then the 2. That's what I think a really good player would do. Am I a really good player? No. Do I see anything I like better than that? No. Even making the freaking 3, I don't like. But I'm almost thinking that's the correct play. The problem is it's a hard shot. I could miss. I could try to give the guy the 3 and hang it up. And then I just really feel stupid. could at least get the cue ball down here if I did that. But if the three's sitting in the jaws, it doesn't do any good. It's not desperation time to be cutting at this 5. This isn't that big of a deal. It probably looks a lot worse, to me, than it really is. A lot of good players would have already shot something. I'm going to shoot what I shot. I'm going to shoot this one. I'm going to just cross the 3 over, not trying to make it. Play the cue ball. If that thing is back up into the 2 of the 13. I did not foresee the possibility of leaving that bank. Honestly, I should have. I just didn't think that far ahead. One of the reasons that I like videos like this is because they show the thinking process that I have right now, and in some cases that I need to work on right now. So I did not see the possibility of leaving this bank. Never even crossed my mind. I can bank this 3. A lot of the time. I can hang it a lot of the time. If I bank it like with left English, 9 o'clock English, the cue ball will come here. In order to get the 3 to the pocket, the cue ball probably has to come out and potentially set off this damn 5 again. I could also shoot it with more of a center ball hit and come back up into these 2 balls. Come back up into the 9 more likely. I'm thinking I could also maybe come up and hit the 5. If I could come off the rail and hit the 5. There's not very much 5 to hit, but if I would be able to hit the 5, then I would have a shot at the 9 next. If I missed the 5, I think this 13 goes. 13 does go. Realistically, if I try to make this 3 and get the cue ball, it's going to take a lot for me to be selling up the 5. 14 also goes. I want these balls to go. They both go. Is this the case where you just freaking shoot it? No, you don't want. I don't want to go that hog wild. I think I want to try to give it my best chance of making it, which means don't load it up with English. But I am going to put a little bit on it, just to make sure I don't hit the bad side of the 9. Nothing else. You have to watch. Now I'm doing ghost ball on this again, so my 10 o'clock English is going on the ghost ball. But I have to remember that not only do I have squirt when I put English on, I have that initial throw. And that's something I just have to keep in mind. That my ghost ball can't be pointing this 3 straight at the banking line. It's got to be pointing it up a little bit, up north a little bit, because of that throw, the contact-induced throw that I'm going to get on it through. So I have to cut it a little bit more than what might look natural. Really got away from me. And it didn't get away from me. It took a pretty good line. Now, this guy has 1. And this guy has 2. This is going to be a long game. Sometimes I'll play a game and it'll be like 1 inning. Sometimes I'll play a game and it'll be like this. Now this guy the guy on your left just made a good bank. Golden opportunity, right? So what do I have? I have the 14, which will go. Then what, I'm busting a bunch of shit towards my opponent's pocket. Not a big fan of that. This 7, 10, 2 won't go. The 13 will go. Yeah, the 13 will go. I could make that. Wouldn't like it very much, but I could make it. And also the 5, 9, but the 11 goes, and I can hit it. And I think that's the safest shot. Safest shot out of everything else that I said. Everything else that I said is kind of moving a bunch of shit. I don't like that. Even the 5, 9 is potentially selling out to 5. And it's a combination which always sucks. This 11, if I could get this 11 and get the cue ball to go back in this direction, which is a little bit iffy, I'm going to have to put a little bit of right on it. Then it's about as safe a shot as I can get it. I'm going to have to shoot it soft enough that the 11 is going to be hanging in the pocket or close to it. And if I get the cue ball right, the cue ball's coming over here, the 11 is protected. So that is what I'm going to do. Of my 4 shots, 5-9 combo, 13, 14, or 11, the 11 is my best shot. Not putting straight 3 o'clock, I'm about 2 o'clock on this shot. Again, on the ghost ball. I have to remember to stroke it. I have written on my board up there, juggle. That's the speed that I want to hit it with. That way I keep the English all the way down there. So I missed a shot by, what did I do? I think it probably, you might hit rewind. I think the cue ball actually hit the 11 before the rail, not both at the same time. And that would mean that I got not as much swerve or too much squirt or something. All right, so now this guy, he's got 2. Another one of the problems I have with making this kind of video is I lose patience. This game has already lasted about 15 innings too long. So, like immediately I'm drawn to, well, just bank the 14, Silts. And I've also got a combination there that might be possible. Not from here, but a kick combination or some bullshit like that. I could bank the 11 back here and go into the 12, but I'm moving a lot of shit, and so I don't like it. I don't like trusting that everything's going to work out. If I shoot at the 11, I don't think I can try to bank it. I think I just have to just send the cue ball down here like a boring person. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to bank this 14 and draw the cue ball around in here to where I don't leave a cut on the 11, but I might leave an easier bank on the 11. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to look at. I don't have that angle. I don't have the angle to hold the cue ball around here anywhere. I got to basically try to draw back here. Does that mean it's the wrong shot? Probably. Man, so I screwed that up big time. I was actually lining it up and I'm thinking, oh, the cue ball is naturally going to want to come into this area. I thought I could draw down. I thought I could. I couldn't. So patience is one of those things that I lose. The 7-10 is a shot that I could shoot. I could play shape forward and shoot. I think I can just draw straight back up in this area. Could also follow around, but shit's kind of tied up. If I follow around, you know, the 12 doesn't go, the 1 doesn't, or the 1 blocks the 12. These 2 are tied up. I think I just want to try to just draw straight back between all this shit. If I do that, the 8 does go, depending on where I leave the cue ball. Hell, the 12 goes, depending on where I leave the cue ball. And that combination is doable. So just be sure to stroke this, especially because it's left-handed. Don't let up on it. Like that. Like I just let up on that shot. So, and I missed it. I'm really surprised that I missed it. But I did. Alright, so this is where all this nitpicky shit would come in handy, wouldn't it? I'm straightening on the 2-ball. I got a stop shot. If I shoot the stop shot, then I can't see the 9. So, don't shoot the stop shot, Zilts. I don't have the angle to draw back and bust any of that out, so I have to try to just draw straight back and straight back out. I should end up with a shot at the 5, so I'm kind of playing safe for the 5. If I go way too far, then I got the 14. But you don't baby the freaking shot. Get shape on something, Sills. Alright, so what I was looking at here is this 10-13. If the 9's gone, it's definitely throwable. 10-13 is lined up for about there. So it's definitely throwable. I can't cut the 9 right now, but I can cut the 5 and probably tap the 9, carry the 9, I think is the terminology, for shape to shoot the 9 next. I'm not 100% sure about that. I do think I'll hit the 9 at least. Be sure. Yeah. If that skid, no, I just missed that shot. I was just going to say, be sure to make the 5. Don't get split brain syndrome and try so hard to be sure you hit that 9 that you missed the 5. It's kind of what I did, because notice I undercut the holy crap out of the 5. Like I was trying to push through and be sure I hit the 9. It turned out I didn't even hit the 9. So, yeah, that was just a flawed execution. I think that both this 10 and this 13, either one of them will go. I used to see Karen shots so well when I was younger. I don't see them really as well now as I used to. So I kind of do this trick to try to find them. Oh, there was another one. What was it? The other one was get to the place. So I'm looking at the triangle between the 10 and the 13, the triangle at the bottom, and get to the place where that is its biggest. And that's where I'm pointing at. Should be good. Alright, so looking at that, now doing it that way, it looks to me like the 13 is dead in the hole, the 14 might miss, it might go into the hole. I'm not talking about shooting this shit from now. Now I'm shooting 11. I want to shoot the 11. I want to come up between all this shit for a shot at the 12. That's what I want to do. It looks like I'm laying pretty natural for that. You know, if I come too far and come, cue ball goes through here and all the way up here, some bullshit like that, well, then A, I suck, and B, I want to have some kind of a fallback plan, and that could be it. That carom could be it. I can also potentially try to hit the 8 right now. I don't like that nearly as much because I could tie it up, or the cue ball could take some weird random path that I don't like. So I'm just trying to hit this slow and get the cue ball about there. That's what I'm trying to do. I really should have made sure that I aimed at the 1, but honestly I didn't think it was necessary. Pretty close to straight in on this 12. I have to watch something I do a lot of, trying to create an angle that's not there. Look, I could draw the shit out of this ball, and A, I'm shooting it really hard. I could very well miss it. And what am I drawing to? I'm not going to be able to draw like to the rail and then back out for the 1. The 4's blocked. I could shoot kind of a stop shot, maybe draw back 3 inches and have a bank as a 7. A slow bank at 7, but a bank at 7. I could potentially roll all the way up and have a bank at 9, but I would never do that. Or I could follow the 12. Have a little bit better angle for follow, like top left, and that's what I'm looking at now. I like following the 12 and trying to get the cue ball to go off that rail, and back up through this mess. Then I do soft banking the 7 after the 12. So that's just what I'm looking at right now. I definitely have an angle that I can do this. I still shoot it pretty hard. I'm putting my shoulder into the shot. Oh, and I hit those balls. Was that a good thing or a bad thing? I can spin this 8 in. I could shoot the 10. If the 10 was my last ball that I needed, I could shoot that, I guess. So he's only got 3. And this is a long game. How likely am I to make this 8? I think I'm likely enough that I can play shape. That's instead of following. If I follow up, sure, it's a safer shot, but I have nothing to follow up with. If I shoot the 8 and just try to come into the rail and back out, probably going to have to chop the 4, potentially the 1, probably the 4. I'm selling out this shit if I miss the 8. And so that's what I'm looking at. Do I want to sell out shit? No. But do I want to give myself the best opportunity? Yes. I can't shoot this super hard. And, you know, I thought I could spin it in, and I still kind of think I could, but I couldn't see the whole ghost ball. In other words, I couldn't see the ghost ball and then put my bottom right on the ghost ball. Maybe about 4 o'clock English, not really bottom right. I couldn't really do that. So I tried to put extra spin on it, and I missed it. And that could very well be why I missed it. And I just get, I'm going to be lucky, yes, because this 4 won't go past the 9, and I can't see the 7. Sure, I cut the 5 when you get 1 out of a million tries, but that's about it. I'm lucky. The guy on your right is lucky that this 8 is visible. So just take what you can get. You know, don't have to like it, but there we go. So now he's got 3, he's got 4, and it's his shot. The ball that I really want to hit and move, that's the biggest pain in my ass, is the 14, and that's the one I can't hit. If I leave the cue ball down in this mess somewhere, depending on which ball I go off of, I could leave a bank, it out of the 10 or the 7. Don't like either one of those. I don't like banking the 4 back towards this pocket, sending the cue ball all the way up here, because the 14 is just a little bit too easy of a shot. Okay, so what do you do, Dave? Quit stalling, Dave. I don't think I can 2-rail. I can't 2-rail the 5. And again, that 14 is too easy of a shot, even if I leave the cue ball way up there. I think I have to just get the cue ball back down here. And it's boring, but I think that's what I have to do. So I'm just going to go off the 9 with right English. Make sure I dig in because I'm on the rail. And put the ball in. If you don't like it, sometimes you got to do it. Now I'm the guy over here now. I got a bunch of shit I want to protect. I'm in a good position now. So how do I protect all this shit? I really don't protect it all. I'm looking to see if that 4 will bank. I think the 4 might not bank, but it might get close, and I might be able to protect. I might be able to block it with one of these 2 balls. The natural way for me to want to shoot this would be shoot the 4 and follow up. If I do that, I am leaving a shot the 1. The 1 is far enough north that it would be a cuttable ball. So I can't do that. I can't follow up. If I just shoot a stop shot with the 4, if I stop the ball really well, I'm potentially leaving a bank to the 7, but I'm also potentially blocking the 4 with the 7. I'm thinking, what do I want to do here? I don't want to play another safety. And another possibility that I have, just so I cover all bases, is 2 rail the 1. I don't think it will go, but it would give me the chance to get the cue ball up here. To get the cue ball up here, my opponent's got a bunch of shit, and I might have a straight in shot on the 4. I think I'm going to go with my very first stop in this case, because I'm running out of patience. I'm going to bank the 4 at my pocket, at the area of my pocket, and send the cue ball up to the head rail. I'm essentially going to dare my opponent to shoot at this 1. I would rather do that than just shoot a stop shot and leave him with a bank. Pretty easy bank at the 7 or potentially the 13. I was leaving that tough shot with maybe shit in my quadrant. I'm trying to justify this to myself, not 100% sure it's the right shot. But I'm Dave, I'm not Tony Johann, Scott Frost, whoever. And that was a damn good cue ball, by the way. And I got pretty lucky that, what happened was I almost comboed that 9 in. Now, here I said I'm the guy on the right. As we've discussed, I have a shot at this 1. I could shoot the 1, send the cue ball, probably with like a little bit of top in this direction. Shit, maybe even get out. If I make the 1 though, stuck on the rail, and there's a 9 ball hanging down there. I'm thinking about what I would rather do, because it's hard for me to get that 9 out of there in a reliably safe manner, because I can't shoot a stop shot at it. I think I'm going to shoot the 1. I think I've talked myself into it. I'm kind of hoping to get shape for the 13. I'm not 100% sure which path the cue ball is going to take. If the cue ball comes too high, I've got the 5. If it goes lower, I've probably got the 13. If I miss the 1, I probably am going to lose the game or come close to it. But stranger things have happened, and it's possible that I might hit something really weird and not sell out that 9. I just don't like my odds. I like my odds of making the 1 better than I like my odds of clearing out that 9 and not leaving anything. Hang on, I just had a thought. Don't you hate it when I have thoughts? This guy's got 3 balls. I should make that 9. That's what I should do. I'm trying to pretend that I'm playing Efren Reyes or somebody like that. I'm not playing Dave Silts right now. I'm playing against Efren. And the only one that really doesn't leave a shot that's easy at all is make the 9. But give him the 9 and don't leave him a shot at anything, a straight back. I think it's worth it. So I still have to pay attention to the shot because it's 5 or 6 miles away and I'm on the reel. Be sure that I dig in a little bit. Alright, so there we go. I think we're 4 apiece now. It's a long game. Yeah, we're 4-piece now. Now, when I was up here making this 9, I should have said, well, the ball I definitely have to protect is the 1. I didn't think about that. I thought about just making the 9. As it turns out, maybe my subconscious knew what he was doing or whatever. But I did protect the 1. If I could see the 1 right now, I would just shoot straight through it. Leave the cue ball down here. But I did protect the 1, so that was nice of me. Anyway, now I'm this guy, so it wasn't very nice. I think what I'm going to do, and I'm thinking a lot, is I think I'm going to try to bank the 5 and send the cue ball here, back down in this general area, leaving a tough cut at the 1. Once the 5's gone, the 4 won't go in that pocket anymore, or the 4 won't go in that pocket. There's a 7-10 combination, but if I can bank the 5 and miss the 14, then the 5's going to be down there. He might even be blocked. I'm not 100% sure I can get the cue ball to come all the way over here and still have pocket speed on the 5. I think that's what I'm going to try though. So I'm going to look at some more at least. Shot. Tell you, ghost ball on a lot of shots is amazing to me. Now I didn't get the cue ball nearly where I wanted. I left a decent shot at the 1, except for the cue ball being on the rail. But yeah, I made a 5. So I can just shoot this 14 as long as I come up here and don't scratch or don't stupid. It's kind of free. Well, it's not free. I shouldn't say it's free. It's only free because the 14 is going to be hanging in a pocket, and it might be blocked. This 10-13 is as easy of a combination as I could ask for, and the 7 goes, depending on where I put the cue ball. I don't want to load this up with inside English or anything, but I do need to make sure that I don't come off the rail and straight into the side pocket, because that would really piss me off. No, there's not room, but that doesn't guarantee that it wouldn't happen. I'm just going to shoot this with follow, dig into it a little bit because I'm on the rail. Find that ghost ball still. You can find it that time. Look where that cue ball is going. Isn't that? See, I saw that coming. And what did I do? I overcut that ball? That just, yeah, that would have sucked. And it still kind of did, because this guy, I'm this guy now, and it is, he's got 4, and that guy's got 5. I can see this 14. I can bank at this 14. I'm not going to slam it. I don't want the cue ball to come up too high, but I want the 14 to have a chance to go in. Dig down, because I'm on the rail. With this kind of crossing shot, I have to put a little bit of right English on it, because I have a real strong tendency to hit the ball in the short. I don't want to do that. Look at it, into the short roll. I do that a lot. That time, the shot may not have been that doable. I was really trying to make sure I didn't send the cue ball up too far and sell out a cut on something. It may not have been the proper shot. As it turns out, I'll have to bank on the 7, which I like. But how do I get shape? I have to punch it. I can't roll this ball. Now he's got 6. So if I'm playing Efren Reyes, what do I do when I have 6 right now? Bad example, because if I'm playing Efren Reyes, any shot at all I should probably take. But in this case, I'm going to just going to move this 14. I'm just going to get rid of it. It's a pain in my ass. All right. And this guy, it has 4. The 4 ball ended up getting protected, and that's really the kind of the ball that I would like to hit, but I can't. I can hit the 10 and drift the cue ball back in this area-ish again. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Try to get the cue ball to stun forward to that rail. Wasn't really a true rail attempt on the 10 ball. It was kind of going in that general direction, but it wasn't really a good attempt. All right, so now that was a bad shot. If I left the cue ball over here, and the 10 wasn't blocking the bank on the 13, I would have left the bank on the 13, or potentially left the bank on the 4. And I was a little bit worried about that. What I didn't see the potential of, and I should have, but I didn't, it's potential for a bank on the 4 ball, straight back on the 4. This guy needs 2. If I straight back to 4, get the cue ball over here, I'm probably going to win the game. I think I should, if I can make the 4. Ghost ball. So that's going to be in the hole, I believe. And now, you just got this one, and that's it. Alright, so there's that game, and I think that was fun. Later.